Hi, welcome to Health Talk with Dr. Akram. I am Akram. In this program, we are talking about exam tips for kids. I'm written by Dr. Udara Kularatne. He is here with me in our studio. And for the first program, we talk about Udara's journey through the many exams he passed through. And the second program, we talked about overview of the book. And here we're going to go more into the book, into the core. Track yourself. And so please be with us. Udara, thank you very much for being with us and welcome to the show again.
Thanks very much for having me.
Okay, let's talk about Track Yourself. Udara, let's talk more technical about your book. This is really important here. We are going to explain all the technical aspects of facing an exam and comfortably passing through it, right? And what is this Track Yourself about?
By tracking yourself, I mean having a clear idea about your strengths and your weaknesses. For example, you need to figure out the time of day you are most productive in. Some of us are early birds and others are night owls. If you are an early bird, you must try to plan all your exam preparation first thing in the morning. Early birds will not do much productive work if they try to stay up late into the night. So by having a good idea about when you are at your best during the day, you can plan your activities to take advantage of that. I can totally relate to that, and I quite like to work very early in the morning. And as you said, you are slightly a late riser, and there are some who can work late into the night and do productive work. I can't at all, and I remember when I was studying for A-levels, I got together with a few good friends and we decided to stay up all night, and our dear parents, bless them, decided to treat us to a hearty meal, and we ate so much that we slept soundly through the night. And because no one in our group was a night owl.
Especially in Asian countries, Sri Lanka, India, people, they think if you have to wake up early in the morning and study, it does not work for us. Now we became doctors and we realized everybody's brain is different. Their circadian rhythm is that the thing which they make them sleep and awake is completely different for people. There have been lots of research and they locked these people down in the 10 or 20 floors underground without any light, and they tested on them, and everybody's circadian rhythm is completely different. That's your natural rhythm. It follows this magnet, isn't it? Your rhythm.
Absolutely.
Right? So you have to work accordingly. So for Udara, it works, you could study from 5 o'clock. For me, 5 o'clock, if I wake up, my productivity will be 0. But anyway, for me, if I sleep till 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, I could wake up, put my candle. That really helps me with this nice aroma coming through, and I might make a coffee sometimes if I do work, and I could sit down and work till 4 o'clock and give enough productivity. But at the same time, I had friends, my Romanian friends, they would sleep till 10, 11 o'clock and they would start by then, but they could muscle through in the night till 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock.
Yes.
So this is really important for parents to understand, to give that chance for the children to work on their best time. How to track time, active and passive learning.
Yes, I think when we are doing something we don't particularly enjoy, and for example studying, we are very good at wasting time. We find ingenious ways to waste time while studying. Each of us has an attention span beyond which our mind begins to wander. For many of us, that time span is about 45 minutes to 1 hour of passive learning. By passive learning, I mean reading a book or making notes. So you're gaining knowledge, but you're not actually testing your knowledge. So boredom can easily set in this situation when you're learning passively. The key is to keep passive learning to the minimum and use your time for active learning. By active learning, I mean active learning involves either testing your knowledge actively or teaching someone else. So this helps consolidate your knowledge and also helps keep boredom away.
And when your mind is fresh, what is the best thing to learn then? When you have a hungry mind which really want to absorb, what subjects would you choose then?
I studied the bits that I found most difficult when my mind was freshest. So if I was struggling with a particular subject area or a topic, I would start with that because that's when my mind was ready for something new, something challenging.
So for example, if you find maths difficult, you learn the maths when your mind is fresh, and you learn your arts if you find it easy a bit later. Focusing, how to keep focused?
So the ability to block everything else from our mind when studying is a vital skill, and it's difficult. But a few simple adjustments which I talk about in the book helped me improve my focus. For example, studying when your mind is rested and freshest is one way, because at that time it's easy to focus, as we discussed. And for me, this was first thing in the morning. Another is switching between tasks, switching between subjects. When you're getting bored with, say, chemistry, you can regain focus by switching to physics, for example. And I discuss a few more ways of focusing in the book.
Our brain has a big capacity, isn't it?
It does, yes. Yeah.
And we don't even use probably 5% of it in all our life.
A fraction of it, Michael.
Fraction of it. So of course, nobody can say that I don't have brain. Brain is there. You have to use it.
Absolutely.
Motivation and discipline. Who motivates advice to parents and family here?
All motivated by different things. Some of us are motivated by the ability to help others, or earning a decent living, or the respect of colleagues and peers, some of them. Whatever it is that motivates us, we must make that our focus and think about the impact passing the exam will have on what motivates us.
In a young age, a lot of kids need motivation from parents, and you have to make the studies regular. From 6 to 8 o'clock, you sit down and learn something like that. So that comes as a habit for them afterwards.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. And then the parents also can give you self-belief that you can do it.
You can do it.
And that's really important, I think.
Learning from your past experience and mistakes and failure.
It's important to think about what you've done well so far and what hasn't gone too well. It's important to have an honest reflection on things that you've done really well and have gone well, and things that you may have not done so well. It's easy to lose motivation if we don't succeed at first. But I think it's important to remember that any failure is a learning opportunity.
And you have to accept your mistakes to yourself.
Absolutely.
Not to give it to teacher, your parents. If you don't accept it, you will never win.
The responsibility for our learning is ours and ours alone. And your parents, your teachers, they can help you. But I think the responsibility for our learning rests with us, and there's no one else to take the blame or the credit for it.
What kind of positive attitudes will help you?
We can get better at anything with practice and effort. There's nothing anyone knows that someone else can't learn.
Thank you very much, Udara, for this short program. Today we are talking about exam tips and a book written by Dr. Udara Kularatne, and so far we talked how to track yourselves when you study and preparing for your exam. In our next program, we're going to talk about teach yourself, how to teach yourself and to prepare for this exam. So until then, look after yourself. We'll see you there in the next program. Thank you.